Golden Lions come into the ball game tonight with a 13-1 record. The Bulldogs from Burlington Williams 12-2, and it's, you know, all indications of shootout tonight.
Bill, it's probably not going to be the defensive struggle that a lot of people thought we were going to see a week ago tonight. Shelby has the power to put a lot of points on the board. The Lions do it in a big way at a 34.3 average. They give up 7.7. Williams averages 29.3, giving up 11.8. I feel tonight, personally, that the team who wins this contest will have to score close to 40 points.
As mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Senator Surratt hurt from the Golden Lions. He racked up 1,215 yards on the year. But last week after he went down, Dunsey Harper picked up the pace. He had 1,041 yards on the year. The Golden Lions racked up 309 yards on the ground after he went down last week.
Dunsey Harper may be the guy who's going to play the key role tonight. Can he do what he did last week against West Caldwell after Surratt went down? Obviously, they're going to miss Surratt tonight. He's a big gun in that backfield. And it's going to be up to Tyrone George tonight to have a good contest. When you're a senior quarterback, you want to do things right. He's got to be mentally ready as well as physically tonight to play.
On the flip side of the football, the Bulldogs basically come into this game healthy. Their tailback, Ricky Turner, looked real good last week, 1,754 yards on the year. And it's one of the games that Ricky Turner's going to have to play his best.
Turner will have to be at his best tonight. Again, like George, he'll have to be mentally and physically ready to go. I think that goes on both sides of the field tonight for both these schools. When you get to this point in the season where you play for the whole ball of wax, you've got to be mentally ready just as much as physically. Turner, Thomas Bundon, even center position tonight's got to be ready. And needless to say, Stephen Feemster has to have an outstanding contest tonight for the Bulldogs to have a chance.
All the media coverage, we've counted 4 TV stations here, possibly 5. They're still rolling in. They had Ricky Turner running from end zone to end zone out in the parking lot. How do you feel that that's going to affect a young man in a ball game like that? He really didn't have time to get himself geared into the psyche of the ball game. He spent most of the afternoon running around. Do you think that'll play with his mind a little bit?
Ricky Turner's got to remember that, okay, although we're 12-2, Shelby's 13-1, we play for a state title. This is just like a normal football game on a Friday night. Hey, probably just like the Grimsley game to start the season or the High Point Central, the Dudley game, what have you. As far as Ricky Turner's concerned, he's got to believe that when I come out on the field tonight, nobody's standing on the sideline with a camera. I'm not playing for anything after this game's over. After the game's over, I'm probably going to go get something to eat, go home, watch a little TV, and go to sleep. They've got to keep the same mental frame of mind. If that mental frame of mind starts to jump a little bit, that could be the thing tonight that either wins the ball game or loses it.
Let's talk a little bit about the keys. You take the Golden Lions, and I'll take Williams. I think the key is Stephen Feemster tonight. He's got some good receivers. He began to throw the ball well in the second half, as he has most of the year. He didn't do much in the first half last week against Tarboro, but second half he really came around and threw the ball. I think that's the key, more so than a Ricky Turner for the Bulldogs.
Right. I believe Feemster's the key for Williams, as you pointed out. And I think the key tonight for Shelby is going to be the play of their offensive and defensive units. Like Tarboro last week, they'll flip 9 guys over on either side of the football tonight. If Williams were to sustain a long offensive drive tonight, eat up about 7 or 8 minutes of the clock and get something out of it, it would be awfully difficult, I think, for the Golden Lions of Jim Taylor to come back on the field and have that crispness and maybe that edge offensively that you need on the side of the football to sustain a scoring drive of your own. The fact they played 9 guys on both sides of the football may come into play again tonight.
Wes, the soggy field conditions, sand has been thrown in the more vulnerable places on the field. How do you feel that will affect both offenses? Wishbone of the Golden Lions and the Bulldogs running that I formation.
Well, like we said last week, and I think you pointed out at the top of the broadcast, the soggy field conditions and the cold temperatures tend to, benefit a team that is straight eye, like the Bulldogs are. When you got to get it to the corner, you make the dangerous pitch like Shelby does. Tonight, the Rome George has got to make sure that the pitches are picture perfect, because if they're not, that could be a turnover that cost them the game.
Defensively, I think the key for the Bulldogs tonight is that pass rusher, Mario Williamson. Whether it's a run or a pass, he's always putting pressure back in the backfield. And with a wishbone, when you're, in such close quarters back there, you really don't want a lot of pressure. You want the offensive line to fire off. And I think the Bulldogs with, some people up front hurting for Shelby, I think that may be a big key.
That could be a big key as well. And another thing I think you've got to look at if you're the Golden Lions, you've got to hope that their place kicker tonight, Chris Gwaltney, gets a chance to play, or Clint Gwaltney, I'm sorry. He is one of the best 62-yard practice field goals in warm-up. It's very impressive. If he gets a chance to kick tonight and he is on, special teams, not only for Shelby but for Williams, could mean the difference tonight.
Yeah, I think that the punting game may be a big factor. You don't get to see much of the Williams punting game, but, you know, as far as Shelby goes, I think the pressure that Williams puts on the punter is going to be a big key.
Yeah, it really will, and as I just mentioned a moment ago, as both teams are getting ready to come out onto the field, I think the special teams or the little intangible factors like the mental preparation and that kind of thing will be the key tonight.
Bill Huff and Wes Durham will be back with the play-by-play in color of tonight's ball game. I'm headed down to the sideline to get, you know, whatever I could get, injury reports, little strategy sessions going on, and we'll have all the information back in 2 minutes. This is WBAG.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds is reaching for the sky.
Now Birds is miles ahead of the rest. The new Birds has landed thousands of new customers with lower prices and more variety on every aisle.
Flying for the steaks?
Yeah, nobody cuts it like Birds, including the price.
And the service?
Fast. I mean, I don't have time to get into a holding pattern.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds!
Drive with confidence on the BF Goodrich XLM HT from Bill Anders Burlington Tire Service. Designed for all seasons, the XLM HT is built to deliver excellent traction in rain or snow. You can rely on the XLM HT steel-belted radial for a smooth, quiet ride, dependable year-round performance, and long mileage, too. Go with a name you can trust. BF Goodrich. Ask for the XLM HT radial at Bill Anders Burlington Tire Service, 1222 South Church Street, Burlington.
Thank you. The staff at the original Sal's Italian restaurant just wanted to say thank you for making Sal's one of the most successful restaurants in Burlington. Sal's is a family restaurant with a friendly atmosphere. Choose from our impressive menu with over 100 items, including our outstanding Italian seafood, steaks, lobster, chicken, veal, pasta, subs, pizza, and more. Try Sal's for lunch or dinner, and don't forget our takeout and delivery services. That's the original Sal's Italian restaurant, Huffman Mill Road.
ISU, we're the experts, the nation's biggest network of independents that you can trust. Insurance experts, ISU experts, finding more for your money. Please count on us. We're coast to coast. You'll get the plan that works best. When it comes to insurance, ISU gives you more for less.
Call the professionals at James L. Massey Incorporated, South Church Street in Burlington.
The Bulldogs, of course, are going to be attired in their home gray or their home black with the gold breeches. And Shelby looks a little bit like the Bulldogs do on the road.
They look exactly like the visiting team with their gold helmets. And I know that it is a 3A game, but you heard in the Sam Story interview, and I think that Sam honestly believes that Bulldog ball club he has down there could be the best team in the state, 4A, 3A, 2A, or 1A. You know, the Bulldogs won in 1985, and we were there then. There are 3 of these Bulldogs on that ball club, Kenny Jones, Ricky Turner, and Thomas Bundren. And Ricky Turner was a starting tailback on that ball club. The ball club in 85 did not have the depth or the kicking game that this team has, so it is probably a little bit better football being played. Of course, Hills was a good ball club, but this Shelby ball club is outstanding. Back deep for the Shelby Bulldogs, as they were Shelby Golden Lions, as they will receive the kickoff. Thomas Bundren ready to kick it. Paul Jeffers is back deep. Nope, not Paul Jeffers, Charles Weaver. And Weaver will take it inside the 5, comes right straight up the middle, and seems to be kind of picking his way, and there's already a flag on the first play. Last week against Tarboro, we had a relatively flag-free ball game.
It was, Bill, and that time it looks like it's going to be on the Golden Lions. It's on the opening kickoff of the contest. Some of the things Bill and I talked about in the pregame just a moment ago, things like that mental frame of mind, those kind of things are already coming into play here as the Golden Lions go over the top of the football, 11:53 in the first quarter.
Well, the penalty will be half the distance back to the goal. Sean Harris making the stop for the Williams High Bulldogs inside the 10, back to the 8-yard line for an illegal clip. Well, not an illegal use of hands. That was a straight-out clip for the Shelby Golden Lions. We have no heights and weights, just some figures given to us by Madison Taylor at the newspaper. Colonel Hopper, H-O-P-P-E-R, is the split end. They go to a T formation, not the wishbone. Fake to the full and get to the halfback. Big hole on his own left side to Dunsey Harper, who has gained so many yards all year long. And Harper out across the 15 to about the 17-yard line before Tony Vaughn and Chris Tilley make the stop for the Bulldog defense.
Good run that time by Harper. Following his blocks over there on the left side, Todd Person at maybe 245 and Chad Maddox, who maybe at 180. You know, when you can't give definites on these guys, but they opened up the hole that time for Harper.
Okay, flanker out wide to the right. It's a slight wishbone. The fullback's maybe a yard in front on 2nd and 2. And George rolling out, pitches, and the ball hits the ground. But a real good defensive effort by Chris Tilley as he grabbed the quarterback, George, who is such a threat, and he pitched it late. And then the Bulldogs were over to cover. Robert Lashley and Junior Crisp both over to cover the pitch out that really was no pitch out because it hit the ground and just rolled over to the intended receiver, Dunsey Harper. It was a lateral, so he covered it. Loss on the play back inside the 12 to about the 11. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Golden Lions. Flanker left, handoff straight ahead to the big fullback, Tim Rhodes. And Rhodes, the 200-pound senior, is not going to go anywhere. At the bottom of the pile again is Chris Tilley and Robert Lashley, and it is a punting situation. Very early in the game, the Bulldogs defense has held the Golden Lions after very poor field position, and Kenny Pauley is back to punt. Kenny Jones back deep. He's standing on his goal line, gets a snap, the punt rushes on, gets off a fair kick, taken at the 45 by Kenny Jones, and he dives down to the 42, and great field position for the Williams High Bulldogs. Jones a little bit upset. So that punt is only going to travel about 30 yards. And the Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line, and we'll be back after we take this station identification timeout. From the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, the Bulldogs in a slot eye to the right. And very quickly, the first pass, Feimster out to Cheeley, big hole, right side. And Cheeley gets it all the way down inside the 35-yard line before he is knocked down by Chad Holbrook and Tony Mooney.
Bill, that time they caught the Golden Lions totally off guard. They ran Ricky Turner on the fake to their left side. Feimster just aimed up and fired it straight down the line to Cheeley, and he broke open into the plane in an excellent play call that time by Feimster and head coach Sam Story.
Early in the first quarter, no score, but the Bulldogs in great field position from the Golden Lion 33-yard line. Flanker slot to the right, and the handoff to the tailback, Ricky Turner, and that made Ricky Turner to the right side behind Michael G. and Marcus Nyer, and little Benji Boney gets inside the 30, now the 31-yard line for the first down before Tim Rhodes, who goes both ways, and Todd Pearson, who goes both ways, made the stop. And the Bulldogs in great position.
It's awfully hard to project, Bill, but if Williams were to score on their opening drive, what would it do for Sam Story, and what would it do for Jim Taylor's Golden Lions? It really messes up that intangibilistic mental frame of mind you try to build when you play a game like this.
On 1st and 10, just outside the 30, flanker left, split in right, handoff straight ahead to Tony Williamson, the fullback, but John Davis is waiting for him right there, along with Tim Rhodes, for the Golden Lions. He gets a yard inside the 30 of the Golden Lions. The William High Bulldogs getting great field position at the Shelby 42-yard line after their kickoff and being able to hold the Lions inside the 15. And the punt by the Golden Lions was fielded by Kenny Jones, returned to the 42. From there, they picked up a first. They have 2nd and 9 from the 29 of the Golden Lions. Flanker left, split in right, slot I. Feimster, quick pass out in the left flat. It is caught. And a great run being put on by Kenny Jones. He gets inside the 20, 15, down to the 14-yard line. And you heard Sam Story say there are some colleges coming on late to look at Feimster because he is almost a pure passer, and that was the words of Steve Spurrier.
Bill, I don't know. Maybe we can go down on the sideline to get Bill Grubbs on this, but Bill, it looked like they set him up a little bit that time.
Wes, they really did. They ran the ball inside a couple of times. They wanted to go with the run first, pass later, but as we talked in the pregame, Feimster does so well on a quick pass, it's just almost impossible to keep him down.
On the 1st and 10, inside the 15, Ricky Turner going off his own right side. Again, behind Shrine Bowler Michael G. They will not play in the Shrine Bowl. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line, where John Davis made the stop along with Tim Rhodes, but the Bulldogs pick up 5 on that Turner running play, and they have a 2nd down and 5 from inside the 9-yard line with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score, but the Bulldogs on their very first possession threatening. A slot eye to the right. Feimster under center, waiting for the snap. Spins, fakes the pitch to Turner, gives off to Tony Williamson, his fullback, and he is stacked up by the interior line of the Golden Lions. It looked like every one of them was there, led by Todd Pearson and Tim Rhodes once again, and Dunsey Harper. Those all three go both ways. No gain on the play, spotted again on the 8.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Bill, now the Bulldogs will have to deal with something they haven't had to deal with in their first 7 plays, and that's a 3rd down. They come up over the top of the football. They've got to try and make something happen here.
Both ends in tight, flanker left, in motion now through the backfield. To the right is Kenny Jones, I formation. Pitch to Ricky Turner, trying his own right side. He is caught in the backfield and dumped on a great defensive effort by the Golden Lions as Turner gets forward to about the 9-yard line, a loss of a half a yard. The tackle made by John Davis and Tim Rhodes, and Thomas Bundren will have to go in to try a field goal. And we'll tell you more about this kicker for the Golden Lions once they get in position. The Bulldogs are not going to go for it. Yes, they are. I'm sorry. Feimster will spot the ball at about the 17, which will be a 27-yard field goal try. Bundren to kick. The snap, the spot, the kick. It's up and over wide to the left. No good. Thomas Bundren, who of the last few games in the season has had a terrible time, missed a 27-yard chip shot, and the Bulldogs do not score after having great field position. So the ball will come out to the 20-yard line, and the Shelby Golden Lions will take over. 1st and 10 with 5:34 to go in the first quarter. No score, and Wes, that could be a big missed field goal.
Bill, they took over at the Shelby 42, chewed up 4 minutes and 18 seconds worth of clock and have nothing to show for it. We talk about Shelby not getting a good opening drive. Williams chews up 4 minutes of clock, really does some nice things on the ground and through the air, and has nothing to show for it either.
Quarterback George hands off to Dunsey Harper, his halfback, on the first play from the 20-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards as the large Golden Lion fires off the ball. Junior Crisp and Robert Lashley, along with Tony Vaughn, having to make a stop on Harper, their leading ground gainer, out across the 25 for a pickup of a little over 5. Call it 2nd down and 4 as Shelby has bitten the bullet and stopped the Bulldogs, and they missed a 27-yard field goal try. They split in to the right. The wishbone goes to the trailing halfback behind all of the right side of the line and the other 2 running backs, and he will have a 1st down out across the 30-yard line. As right now the Shelby Golden Lion offensive line is really firing off of that ball.
They're doing quite well. That time Harper picks up 6 more yards. He's carried the ball already 3 times tonight, and Harper has 12 yards to show for it so far, or 21 yards in the contest on 3 carries, so he's been the main ground getter so far.
He has been all season, and with Surratt out of there, he will be more so tonight. Handoff again to Dunsey Harper, the senior, and he's picking up about 5 yards a chunk. And right now, Wes, the offensive line of the Golden Lions controlling that line of scrimmage after not doing so well on the opening series.
Well, they've really fired off the football a little bit better this time, Bill, than I believe they did in their first offensive possession, but it goes back again to just how well will Shelby be able to flip-flop over the football, offensively to defensively.
2nd down and less than 5 outside their own 35-yard line. George under center, hands off to his other halfback, Dan Johnson. And Johnson tries his own right side, and Johnson is not going to get the 1st down. So the Shelby Golden Lions faced with a 3rd down, and I believe Bill Grubbs has a word for us.
Wes, but the Williams Bulldogs just broke a huddle with Coach Sam Story. The offense became a little confused there down around the 10-yard line. Shelby rolled up the corners on them. He came very tight on the inside, forcing the run, and they weren't prepared to go to the pass that deep in the offense. And now the Bulldog defense is going to have to strap it on and see if the offense gets another chance.
On 3rd down and short yardage, it looks like it may be a 1st down for Dunsey Harper as the fine quarterback, Jerome George, hands off to him on just a straight crossbuck. A right halfback going off his own left side. It is another 1st down. and that is a big, important first down for this ground-oriented Golden Lion team of Shelby. 3:18 to go in the first quarter, no score, but the Shelby Golden Lions beginning back on their own 20 after the Bulldogs missed the field goal, now moving out to their own 42-yard line. Flanker coming wide left. I don't have a 41. And there's a bad exchange. Charles Weaver is now in at split end. And Weaver was out here on the flanker. Along with him was Dan Johnson, and the first time we've seen them with two wideouts. It was to no avail as there was a bad snap covered by George, the quarterback, and it'll be still at the 42-yard line, 2nd and 10. Once again, they run that weird formation. Colonel Hopper out wide left. Along with him is Tony Money. Back to pass. The ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage by guess who? Mario Williamson, who college scouts have said is the best all-around ball player on that ball club.
Great pursuit that time by Williamson. Todd Person, the left tackle, and Chad Maddox, the left guard, just couldn't contain him. They tried to push him off a little bit, not illegal holding or anything of that nature, but they tried to hold him off, and Williamson found a way in there.
And batted down the pass. So the Golden Lions now faced with a third down. Coming out, Charlie Weaver, wide left with him. Tony Money. George under center, has a slot back in the slot. Hands off to his big fullback, Tim Rhodes, straight ahead. And Rhodes has the first down across midfield, down to near the 45-yard line of the Bulldogs. He is finally brought down by Robert Lashley and Tony Vaughn. But there was a big gaping hole on the left side of his center behind little Chad Maddox and big Todd Pearson for the quarterback to hand off to Rhodes, who is running in the place of Surratt. And he has the first down to the Bulldog 45. 2:15 to go in the first quarter, and no score.
Rhodes came up out of the play, Bill, grabbing his headgear, and Dunsey Harper's patting him on the rear end, but it looks like Rhodes really took a shot once he hit the ground at the Williams 46 or 45 and a half, and finally they're going to have to call the officials are going to have to whistle a timeout, and now Shelby has used one. They're going to have to get Rhodes off the field. Bill Grubbs, it looked like that the Williams defense was totally off guard by the draw play by Rhodes.
They really were, Wes. We talked earlier in the game about Mario Williamson in the pass rush. They're always in the backfield putting pressure on your quarterback or your handoff man. And that time they really just overran the play. They got in the backfield and the handoff went to the fullback who came on through. And once he's in the secondary, you know, it's an 8 or 10-yard game automatically.
Okay, the quarterback, Jerome George, is still over talking to head coach Jim Taylor, and I don't know if the player that was carrying the ball, Tim Rhodes, is injured or not, but he's gone over to the sidelines to have his helmet repaired and hadn't come back out onto the playing field yet. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, still no score. The Shelby Golden Lions took the opening kickoff and couldn't move it, had to punt. The Bulldogs went all the way down to about the 9-yard line and had a field goal miss. Now Shelby's coming back on the move.
Bill, it's important to remember now, Shelby's almost 5 yards from reaching that target zone of Clint Gwaltney. I mean, this guy's got an arsenal for a foot. Hey, they're at the Williams 45 and a half. They get inside the 40. They could give it to Gwaltney for the 3.
We saw him kick 62-yard field goals in practice. Hand off again to Dunsey Harper on 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 45-yard line. Tries the middle of his own line, and there he is stacked up. Right at the bottom of the pile will be Chris Tilley and Mario Williamson and Jeff Marsh. Pick up still of 3 yards down to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Golden Lions. And we did see this Gwaltney, a first-year player out from soccer team that is kicking over 50-yard field goals. We saw him hit a 62-yarder in practice. On 2nd and long, George under center looking to pass out in the right flat. It will be complete to his favorite target, Colonel Hopper. And Hopper driven backwards, but I think he may have had the first down. Well, the official is coming back now and spotting the ball outside the Williams 35-yard line, much to the consternation of the big Shelby crowd.
And they're going to take time out to measure for the first down. And I tell you, it looks like it's going to be awful close. They're doing it over on the sideline, but they pull the chain tight, and they've got about 4 inches for the first.
Well, did you see why he marked it back that far? Because the receiver caught the ball inside the Williams 35-yard line and was driven backwards. I don't know why the official marked it back at the 36, and it is not a first down.
Interesting enough, good point, though, that he did not mark the forward progress of Colonel Harper the receiver, not a military leader for the Golden Lions.
But he is a leader on that football field, and it's going to be a third down and a short yard at the 36-yard line of the Bulldogs with 1:15 to go in the first quarter, no score. Both ends tight. They go to a pro set. It'll go to the halfback, Duncy Harper, or the fullback, Tim Rhodes. Rhodes is across the 35 for the first down. Jeff Ball making the stop for the Williams High Bulldogs, along with Mario Williamson. He's all the way down to the Bulldog 32-yard line, the fourth first down of this series for the Shelby Golden Lions.
After missing on their first third down attempt, the Lions have hit their last 3 in a row. They're now 3 of 4 in third down conversions.
On 1st and 10, the handoff will go to Tim Rhodes, the fullback, trying his own right side, and a string of Bulldog defenders have to bring him down. It looks like it takes 2 or 3 to bring down the tacklers anytime. Crisp and Marsh making the stop for the Bulldogs with 33 seconds to go in the quarter and no score. Spotted on the 27-yard line, a 5-yard pickup. They still are getting 3 and 4 and 5 yards per carry on this offensive drive that started back on their own 20-yard line, and once again eating up that clock. Flanker out wide to the left on 2nd and 5. Hand off to the second halfback through, Tony Mauney. Mauney behind the block, and a Duncy Harper tries his own left side. This time the Bulldog defense, led by Chris Macy, and Junior Crisp was able to make the stop right on the 25-yard line. So once again, a big third down, but they are making those third down conversions.
And they certainly are. As I mentioned a moment ago, they've hit their last 3 in a row on third down conversions, but we've got to break them before they can do it. We're at the end of the first quarter.
No score. So we'll be back here at the Burlington Memorial Stadium with the second quarter in 60 seconds.
Thank you. The staff at the original Sal's Italian restaurant just wanted to say thank you for making Sal's one of the most successful restaurants in Burlington. Sal's is a family restaurant with a friendly atmosphere. Choose from our impressive menu with over 100 items, including our outstanding Italian seafood, steaks, lobster, chicken, veal, pasta, subs, pizza, and more. Try Sal's for lunch or dinner, and don't forget our takeout and delivery services. That's the original Sal's Italian restaurant, Huffman Mill Road.
ISU, we're the experts, the nation's biggest network of independents that you can trust. Insurance experts, ISU experts, finding more for your money. Millions count on us. We're coast to coast. You'll get the plan that works best when it comes to insurance. ISU gives you more for less.
Call the professionals at James L. Massey Incorporated, South Church Street in Burlington. For all-weather performance and a quiet, comfortable ride, Bill Anders suggests the Advantage TA radio from B.F. Goodrich. Engineered for long mileage and backed by B.F. Goodrich's warranty, your assurance of quality, the Advantage TA. For a dependable ride and professional service, visit Bill Anders, Burlington Tire Service, 1222 South Church Street, Burlington.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds is reaching for the sky.
Now Birds is miles ahead of the rest. The new Birds has landed thousands of new customers with lower prices and more variety on every aisle.
I see you've come back to Birds.
I've tried the rest, but Birds has the prices and the variety. Besides, they've got a great landing strip.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds!
Quarterback George keeps on 3rd and long from his Williams 25-yard line, and I think Jerome George has the first down. Tommy Spoon told us early in the week he reminded him great deal of Holloway out at Oklahoma in the option, and that time he ran the option for the 5th first down of this drive for the Golden Lions that started back on their own 20-yard line after a missed Bulldog drive. And West, didn't they control the ball most of the first half?
They certainly did. Matter of fact, the Bulldogs only had it for a 4-minute span in that 12-minute first quarter. And, Bill, they've got nothing to show for it, and Shelby's putting together a real nice drive here.
On 1st and 10, handoff off the right side to Duncy Harper from the Bulldog 19-yard line. Robert Lashley along with Andrew Wiley making the stop for the Bulldogs. But it is a really, really bruising drive as that offensive line of the Golden Lions really firing off that ball.
I said in the pregame I thought it was important for Williams to keep the Golden Lion defense on the field. I think if you let the offense stay on the field, they don't tire quite as much if it's the same guys. Now, I know it's the same people, but I just think they get a little more ump to them if the offense stays on the field rather than the defense.
From the Bulldogs, 16 on 2nd and long. Out of his backfield, George passes incomplete, dropped by Tony Mauney, who was wide open out of the left flat about the Bulldog 10-yard line, and he dropped the ball being covered by Jeff Ball. 10:49 to go in the second quarter of play in the state 3A championship game. No score between Burlington Williams and Shelby.
Bill, interesting enough, that's Jerome George's first passing attempt of the evening. He had gone a long way using the option, and now they've come back with the pass, and that time Mauney just couldn't hang on to it.
Now he's faced with a big third down at a Bulldog 16-yard line, and he sends a flanker out wide to the left, Charlie Weaver, and both ends stay in tight. Well, that's a split into the left. The wishbone behind the Jerome George. Now, one of the halfback moves up to a slot on the right side. Handoff straight ahead, and they fumble the football. It's loose, but I believe that Dunsey was able to pull it back in. He actually didn't pull it back in. He sat on it. He had dropped the football and lost it when he was tackled by Jeff Ball and Tony Vaughn and Chris Macy, Chris Tilley also, and it is a fumble, and now we get the field goal try.
Here comes Gwaltney, and Bill Grubbs, is he going to have to kick out of some of that loose dirt? We talked about the conditions of the field. What kind of situations Gwaltney got?
Right now, I believe the situation is he's sitting right. He's trying to get out of a rut as much as he can. He's right on the hash mark, and that's just right exactly at the point where they ran the last 3 plays. So I'm not sure if the spot's going to be a problem, but his footing may be the problem.
The spot, the snap, the kick, it's up, it's good. A 29-yard field goal for first-year player Clint Gwaltney, and the hold by Chad Holbrook, and the Shelby Golden Lions take the lead here in the second quarter with 10:03 to go. 3-0 over the Williams High Bulldogs. We'll have the kickoff in 30 seconds.
Drive with confidence on the B.F. Goodrich XLM HT from Bill Anders Burlington Tire Service. Designed for all seasons, the XLM HT is built to deliver excellent traction in rain or snow. You can rely on the XLM HT steel-belted radial for a smooth, quiet ride, dependable year-round performance, and long mileage, too. Go with a name you can trust, B.F. Goodrich. Ask for the XLM HT radial at Bill Anders Burlington Tire Service, 1222 South Church Street, Burlington.
Thank you. The staff at the original Sal's Italian restaurant just wanted to say thank you for making Sal's one of the most successful restaurants in Burlington. Sal's is a family restaurant with a friendly atmosphere. Choose from our impressive menu with over 100 items, including our outstanding Italian seafood, steaks, lobster, chicken, veal, pasta, subs, pizza, and more. Try Sal's for lunch or dinner, and don't forget our takeout and delivery services. That's the original Sal's Italian restaurant, Huffman Mill Road.
Well, the Williams High Bulldogs give up an 80-yard drive to the Golden Lions. A 29-yard field goal by Clint Gwaltney put the Golden Lions out in front, and they had the ball most of the first half and the first 2 minutes of this second quarter. And now the Bulldogs get the hands of the ball for only the second time in the ball game. Kicking off will be Gwaltney, back deep Ricky Turner for the Black and Gold Bulldogs. It's a low squibbler. It'll be taken by one of the up men. Well, knocked down by one of the up men at the 20. Gets out to about the 25-yard line before he is going to be dropped by the Golden Lion defense. Just under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. The Golden Lions of Shelby out in front, 3-0. Spotted on the 26-yard line. Bulldogs take over, 1st and 10, and only their second possession of the second half.
Bill, it was
the first half.
It was an 18-play, 80-yard drive for the Golden Lions, so they used a lot of clock and a lot of plays, so now you've got to worry about the fatigue factor if you're Shelby coach Jim Taylor.
Beamster with a 1st and 10 from his own 26. Ricky Turner tried the middle of the line where the Shelby Golden Lion defense, which is almost the same as the Shelby Golden Lion offense, make the stop. Tim Rhodes, again, getting up off the bottom, along with Chad Maddox, both two-way ball players. Fullbacks Larry Wheeler and Tony Williamson alternating for the Williams High Bulldogs from their fullback spot. bringing in the plays from Kyle and head coach Sam Story on the sidelines. Second down and 9 from the 27-yard line. Kenny Jones out wide left. Cheeley out wide to the right. I formation, turn of the tailback. Feimster under center, waiting for the snap. Hands off to his fullback. Tony Williamson going straight ahead, and a mass of humanity just kind of rugby the ball out to about the 30-yard line before he is finally tripped up and brought down. Tim Rhodes once again making the stop along with Lonnie Tucker, and the Bulldogs once again faced with a long third down situation as Larry Wheeler brings into play.
And I'll tell you, maybe a little bit more importantly than that long third down is the fact that it could be a 3-down-and-out series for the Shelby defense. After scoring on an 18-play drive, we worry about them getting tired. They could be building big momentum here.
On third and about 6, slot eye to the left, and rolling to his left will be Feimster. His pass is behind Kenny Jones, the intended receiver. He was being really rushed by Marcus Mitchell and Tony Money back to cover on the play, but Feimster just flat dab missed, and now the Jennings ball had to be punted away by Jennings. A quick snap, and Jennings gets off a sailor. With a bounce about the 40, bounce away from Tony Money and be down inside the 30-yard line, where the Golden Lions of Shelby will put the ball in play. First and 10, 8:11 to go in the first half, and the Bulldogs trail 3-0.
Early on at Memorial Stadium, 4A state title game underway in the first quarter. Garner's put a touchdown on the board. They lead Harding 7-0.
Those Garner, that's a tough ball club. I tell you, I've only seen them on TV, but they are tough and good. The Golden Lions of Shelby, ball just inside the home 30-yard line, faced with a first and 10. Now they split it in. Hopper out to the left. Put Money out there with him, and a slot to that side. One setback, and they hand off to that setback straight ahead, and he gets very little yardage as the Williams Bulldog defense, led by Chris Tilley and Junior Crisp, stack him up after a 3-yard pickup out to the 33-yard line.
I tell you, Tim Rhodes came out of the contest in the first offensive possession after having his bell rung. He's come back and carried the ball quite well here after coming back from the sideline. Hard running that time. And
playing fantastic defense also. He's one of those two-way boys. Second down and 8 from about the 33-yard line. Again, that slot formation to the left. Pass out in the flat is going to be dropped by Tony Money. That ball was deflected. In all fairness, again, Mario Williamson got a hand up, deflected the ball, and it fell at the feet of Tony Money for an incomplete pass and gives Shelby a long third down situation at their own 32.
Shelby came here to run tonight, and Jim Taylor's Golden Lion not being very effective in passing the football. Early on, Jeff Morrison tells us they are 1 of 4.
7:12 to go in the first half. The Bulldog defense faced with a big third down situation at the 33-yard line of the Golden Lions. Third and about 7. Spit in to the left. Colonel Hopper. Flanker to the right. And again, George back to pass out in the flat over the head of Hopper. Over there to defend is George Robinson, but Jerome George just flat dab threw that one over the head on a straight, flat down-and-out pattern to his favorite receiver, Colonel Hopper. And it's going to be an incomplete pass and a punting situation for Kenny Pauley of the Golden Lions. Only their second punt of the ball game. That is their third possession. And the Bulldogs will get the ball back in decent field position early in the second half.
Williams going to bring just about everybody, Bill.
Not a good punt off the side of the foot. Hits about the 35 or 40 and takes a knuckleball bounce and stops right on the 35-yard line. It will be first and 10 for the Bulldogs with still 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Where the Golden Lion held the Bulldog offense to a 3-down-and-out series, that time Williams returns the favor and sends a offense last time of Shelby that thought was moving the football very well on an 18-play drive. It's 3 downs and out this time for the Golden Lions.
And only a 33-yard punt, no return. Put it on the 35-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs. Kenny, well, that's out to the right is Darrell Cheeley. I formation. Steve Feimster under center, waiting for the snap. Coming straight back, looking over the middle for Cheeley out in the left flat on the down and out. Great attempt by Darrell Cheeley, being defended by Jerome George, the offensive quarterback. And that was just really who could get up there to try to catch that ball. And Cheeley had a hand on it. Jerome George going both ways for the Golden Lions, batted it away. It'll be a long, incomplete pass, bring it back to the 35-yard line. It'll be 6:35 to go in the second quarter.
Boy, Feimster really opening up that time. I don't know if it's something they're trying to catch Shelby off guard with after running it off tackle a couple of times in the short intermediate passes. It'll be interesting to see how they come back on the second and possibly third down plays here.
On 2nd and 10, the flanker to the right, both ends in tight. I formation behind Feimster, and Stephen hands off to Ricky Turner, who has had a rough go of it tonight, tries his own left side, and is going to be bumped down by Roger Hutchins and John Davis and Dunsey Harper for a very little gain. He does dive out across the pile up to the 38-yard line. It'll be third down and about 7 for the Williams High Bulldogs.
Turner's got 5 carries, 12 yards early on here. So the Wolfpack bound runner is struggling somewhat in this opening quarter, or opening half, but remember, he struggled somewhat opening half last week against Tarboro.
This defensive line right now controlling the line of scrimmage also for the Golden Lions. Healy in motion through the backfield to the left. I formation on 3rd and long. Feimster pitches to Ricky Turner, trying to get outside and get some running room. Turner does have the first down, as Ricky Turner got a great block from the man in motion, Darrell Cheeley, and he picked up the first down for the Williams High Bulldogs before Colonel Hopper and John Davis could knock him out of bounds. And that is only the 3rd first down, right, Jeff, for the Williams High Bulldogs. Out of their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Clock is stopped with 5:47 to go in the second quarter.
Second quarter score from the 2A state finals. Thomasville is on top of Whiteville, 6-0.
On 1st and 10, Feimster sends a flanker right, split in left, I formation. Stephen back to pass. The left-hander looking right over the middle. Wide open is Cheeley. Cheeley has a man over his back, which is Jerome George, the offensive quarterback, and the official didn't throw the play. I don't know, Wes. He went high going for the ball to bat it away. It was overthrown, and the official decided to just call it incidental contact.
Hey, this guy's not the state triple jump champion for nothing. He can get up off the ground. That time, Bill Grubbs, it looked like Cheeley, although he had a good pattern, George had every right to the football as well.
Yeah, he really did. The pass was overthrown. I don't know if Cheeley could have caught it or not. Feimster really let it ride, and you know, he was just playing center field, and as he went up, Cheeley actually ran in to the defensive player.
On 2nd down and 10, again, Feimster, well, he fakes the pass, gives off the draw to Ricky Turner, who is having a rough go of it, and he kind of just waddles his way up for a yard or 2 gain behind the right side of his blocking line, led by Michael G. and Marcus Dyer before Chad Maddox and Scott Church, both going both ways for the Golden Lions, bring him down. The Bulldogs face with a 3rd down and 9 at their own 47-yard line.
Sluggish start again tonight for the Bulldogs. It appears on the offensive side of the football, not firing off quite as well as they were, let's say, compared to the second half last Friday night against Tarboro, when the big black machine was really rolling on the ground.
On 3rd and 9, a slot I to the right, flanker left, 1 setback. Now coming through the backfield is Ricky Turner. To his left, now Feimster back to pass, flipped it out in the flat, incomplete. A great defensive job by Colonel Hopper on Kenny Jones, the intended receiver, and these Golden Lions play both ways, and they both play a lot of football both ways. Incomplete pass forces the Bulldogs into a punting situation, and quickly Nathan Jennings is on the field to punt it away, while back deep will be Tony Money. Gets a low snap, bounces to him, and it's blocked. It is blocked, rolling inside the 20 to the 15-yard line, where the Golden Lions recover. And that is the type of thing that Williams ordinarily does.
Dunsey Harper blocked the punt, and then it was Marcus Mitchell who fell on it. But a super effort that time by Harper just to stay with it after the fumbled punt innings.
Well, the Bulldogs did it against Asheboro. Now they have it done to them as Harper got through there. It was a low snap. It bounced to him like a bouncer baseball to second base. And the block punt will give the Golden Lions excellent field position inside the 15-yard line of Williams High School. Split in wide left, the wishbone behind George. George hands off to Dunsey Harper, who blocked the punt. He's all the way inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. Chris Tilley gets up off the bottom of the pile of Dunsey Harper, but it's a pickup again of about 5 yards, 2nd and 5. 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the second quarter, and after that big break, the Shelby Golden Lions are threatening again. Great break for the Golden Lions. Going out wide to the left will be Charles Weaver. The wishbone behind Jerome George on 2nd and 5. Keeps rolling out, being swarmed under back outside the 15-yard line as the Bulldogs evidently sniffed out The defense led by Mario Williamson and Doug Blackwell and Jeff Ball, dropping him for a loss. They'll mark it back on the 14-yard line.
Sets up a long 3rd and 9, and so far tonight, the Golden Lions have been quite proficient at the 3rd down conversion. 4 of 7, but the last time they tried to throw for the completion on 3rd, a 3rd and 8 at their own 32. Now they're a little bit closer at the Williams 14.
They are well within the toe of Clint Waltney, but they want a touchdown. 3rd down and 9 from the 14.5-yard line. Just over 3 minutes. And George back to pass out in the flat, incomplete. They are not a passing ball club, and it shows as George had his man wide open out in the flat. Jeff Ball over the cover. Money could not bring it down. And once again, we'll see the talented toe of Clint Waltney, who has 15 field goals on the season. And he will spot it down on the 20, call it 21-yard line. So it will be a 31-yard field goal try, well within his range. The holder is Chad Holbrook. The snap, the spot, the kick, way, that would have been good from 60 yards. It is good. A 31-yard field goal for Clint Waltney to make the score now. The Golden Lions of Shelby 6, the Williams High Bulldogs 0. We'll have the kickoff in 30 seconds. Well, Clint Waltney has kicked 2 field goals tonight, and the Golden Lions of Shelby lead 6-0. Tony Williamson and Ricky Turner back deep. Waltney comes forward, puts a toe to the ball, a soccer-style kick taken by Tony Williamson at the 7-yard line. Tony comes right back up the middle, stumbles for about the last 8 yards, and is all the way out to the 30-yard line before Don Whitworth brought him down for the Golden Lions and the Williams High Bulldogs, whose offense has sputtered quite a bit here in the first half. Take over 1st and 10 with 2:54 to go in the first half and trailing 6-0.
For the mental standpoint of this contest, Bill, I think they've got to try and get at least something on the board, maybe 3 or a touchdown here. If they don't, they could go in at the half here with the feeling of, you know, maybe we played 24 minutes of football and have nothing yet.
Slot eye to the left on 1st and 10, and Feimster going to the airways, looking over in the left flat. It will be caught, complete to Darrell Cheeley, and Cheeley is caught from behind, and Feimster laid that ball in. A 31-yard pass play from Darrell Cheeley, and Bill, that looked great from up here.
It really did, Bill. It was a play that they had said that on the board that they could do. Cheeley came off the last time and said, I can take him on a hook and go. Williams, you know, the coaching staff said, yeah, try to go with it. So it's one of the things, that's what they're going to do.
Well, that one was a beautiful 31-yard first down play down to the 40-yard line of the Golden Lions. Flanker right, I formation, movement on the line but no flag. Ricky Turner tries his own right side, and once again, a tremendous defensive effort by the Golden Lions as Scott Church makes the stop along with John Davis for the Golden Lions. 2:15 to go in the first half. Bulldogs trail it by 6-0 following 2 Clint Waltney field goals. And Larry Wheeler and Tony Williamson are alternating the plays in for Coach Sam Story. Only a pickup of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Williams High Bulldogs. Kenny Jones comes in tight on the left side. Cheeley on the right side now comes in motion through the backfield to the left. I formation behind Feimster, spins, pitches to Turner. Ricky gets a great block by Cheeley and is out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. What a block Darrell Cheeley put on the defender, Chad Holbrook, to put him out of commission.
And Chad's going to have to come off to the field, and they're going to run another one on. That's Charles Weaver, his backup, because Darrell Cheeley lowered the boom on him, Bill.
Boy, I'm telling you, he made a block on him that was really crucial. 1:45 to go, and the Bulldogs going out of bounds. Stop the clock. Now they're faced with a big 3rd down at the 33-yard line. 3rd and 3 for Williams. Flanker right, split in left, slot back in the slot, and Feimster passes out in the flat, complete to Ricky Turner for the first down inside the 30-yard line. And the Bulldog offense now clicking, but unlike Williams High School, they're clicking on offense. They are rolling with the pass.
That time, though, now 2 of 5 on the 3rd down conversion from Feimster to Turner. And that time, I think they really set him up. They gave it to Ricky going left on the run. They threw the pass to Cheeley, and that time, just a little dump pass to Turner. I think they're mixing up the play as well, and if they keep this up, Bill, they're really slowly but surely going to cause that Shelby defensive / offensive line to get a little tired.
Get a little tired. On 1st and 10, Feimster again, back to pass, out in the flat. It'll be complete to his fullback, Tony Williamson. A very short gain, but it was complete. And
there's a flag down, and it looks like Michael G. may be guilty of the hold. He was over there talking with the side judge.
And he was way away from the play. It was rolled. No, they call it ineligible receiver downfield on Michael G. for being too far beyond the line of scrimmage. And the funny thing is, the ball was rolling the other way, and the pass play was to the other way. Now, he really just kind of slipped his memory as where the line of scrimmage was, and he rolled beyond the line of scrimmage. 1:29 to go in the first half, and we see Mr. Simon Terrell did make it to the ball game.
Certainly did. That's the first penalty on the Bulldogs, by the way. And it comes, you know, here at the 1:30 mark before the first half.
Trailing 6-0. The ball now back outside the 30-yard line on 2nd down and about 15 for the Bulldogs. Chile out wide to the left, to the right, to the left is Kenny Jones. In the slot to the right is Ricky Turner. One setback. Now Turner comes in motion through the backfield to the left, and Feimster back to pass. Looking down the sidelines, wide open, and he threw it away. I think his arm was hit by Tim Rhodes as he got rid of the ball, but Feimster kind of laid it up there and threw it away, and Ricky Turner was wide open. If he would have put some zip on that ball, Ricky Turner could have had it down inside the 15-yard line, but that's to no avail. 1:06 to go in the first half.
Feimster 4 of 9 on the contest. And Bill Grubbs, you got any idea what they may go with here?
Well, the Bulldogs have been known to run that reverse with Darrell Chile coming back across the field. It depends on how much they want to gamble here. They're only down 6-0. Do you want to go out of field goal range, or do you want to be safe with a little dump pass across the middle?
On 3rd and 15. And Feimster throws it out quick to Chile. Looking, no, he did. He was supposed to throw and didn't. Chile dives it down inside the 20, but he didn't have a first down. Quickly up to cover him was Chad Holbrook, and Chile was looking to the end zone and had 2 men there, but he couldn't throw the ball and had to tuck it in and run down the left sidelines. They say he stepped out of bounds on about the 22-yard line. Now the Bulldogs faced with a really, really serious... Now they take a timeout. Timeout on the field with 59 seconds to go in the half. Bulldogs trail 6-0, faced with a 4th down. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Thank you. The staff at the original Sal's Italian restaurant just wanted to say thank you for making Sal's one of the most successful restaurants in Burlington. Sal's is a family restaurant with a friendly atmosphere. Choose from our impressive menu with over 100 items, including our outstanding Italian seafood, steaks, lobster, chicken, eel, pasta, subs, pizza, and more. Try Sal's for lunch or dinner, and don't forget our takeout and delivery services. That's the original Sal's Italian restaurant, Huffman Mill Road.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds is reaching for the sky.
And now Birds is miles ahead of the rest. The new Birds has landed thousands of new customers with lower prices, more variety on every aisle.
Back again?
Well, who's got time to our town? Birds got it all. Variety, quality, freshness. I'm high on Birds.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds!
The Williams High Bulldogs on 4th down and about 6 or 7 have decided to go for it at the Shelby 22-yard line. Feimster under center with a long count. And Ricky Turner fell down, but he couldn't get out of the way. Now pass out in the flat is going to be complete. Ricky Turner was at the knees of Stephen Feimster, and the pass out in the flat, I don't know what happened to Turner. He fell down in the mire, and still it was complete to Darrell Chile for the first down at about the 10-11-yard line with 50 seconds to go. And another timeout for the Williams High Bulldogs as they have a first down now at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that last play was designed to be a handoff to Darrell Chile. He was going to take it around the right side. He was going to throw that little half-back pass. Chile fell down in the backfield, and it was all improvisation. You know, it was just an improv for Stephen Feimster to roll around the right side and find Darrell Chile.
Well, did a great job on it and giving the Bulldogs a first down at the 11-yard line with 50 seconds to go in the half. A slot to the left. And now in motion is a fullback through the backfield to the left, and Feimster rolling out to the left. Fires it into the end zone, and it's incomplete as in the end zone, Kenny Jones had fallen down, and somebody put a hit. John Davis really put a hit on Feimster, but that play went for naught just as soon as Kenny Jones fell down. But they have a 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Only 10 seconds off clock.
Awfully fortunate at that time, Bill, and the fact that Jones was the only guy wearing the black shirts for Williams to be down there. He had 3 Golden Lions in the territory. Kenny Jones fell down. Sometimes you see a defender get a chance at an INT that time. Fortunate enough for Williams, they'll get another crack at it.
It was just too high. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Feimster, quick pitch, reverse to Chile, looking to pass. The end zone man is covered. Chile has to throw it away. Smart thinking on 2nd down. That was a pitch to the fullback who handed off to Chile, the tailback. He was looking for Marcus Dyer in the end zone. Dyer was covered like a blanket by Jerome George, or I think it's Jerome George. He was really covered, and Chile did the right thing in throwing it into the ground at the goal line.
And now it sets up another one of those big 3rd downs for the Bulldogs. And it's a 3rd and 10. They can get a 1st down just on the other side of the 1-yard line in the shadow of the goal line.
39 seconds to go in the half. Chile to the left, Jones to the right. I formation behind Feimster. Feimster back to pass, looking straight over the middle, and it'll be incomplete as he was over the head of Chile, the intended receiver. Chile was hit pretty good by Tony Mauney, but Feimster right now a little off on his timing, so I'm pretty sure we will see Thomas Bundren right now.
Bundren has already come out with the plastic tee setter, and he'll put it down at the 17, so a 27-yard field goal by Bundren.
You know, he missed earlier. We got the exact same yardage, 27 yards, that he missed earlier. Feimster will hold. Bundren, who is the center on offense, will try to kick. It is going to be blocked. It is absolutely no good. I couldn't see who blocked it. Did you?
It looked like John Davis came up from the outside linebacking spot to make the good run on the attempt by Bundren, and he blocked it squarely, and it barely made it to the goal line. Bill Grubbs, what did it look like from down on the side?
Oh, Wes Feimster did not get the snap down on the tee. The ball came off the tee. Bundren didn't hit it solid, and he hit his own offensive center with it.
Oh, so it wasn't blocked. It was a bad snap.
Oh, well, the snap was fine, but the set just didn't get down on the tee, and he just didn't hit it solid.
So the Shelby Golden Lions will stay in front 6-0, take over at the 20-yard line with about 29 seconds to go in the half, and they do some great running again. So all the first half has belonged to Shelby, with their offense dominating the time possession and the 2 field goals by their field goal kicker, Clint Gwaltney, and Williams High School with 2 missed field goals. The carry by Duncy Harper is out to about the 28-yard line, a pickup of 8. And Shelby right now, Wes, is in control of this football game, and they don't want to run anymore.
Well, they're moving it at will, and I tell you, if I'm playing both guys on either side of the football, I'd let the clock run out on me too to end the first half.
Well, with a 6-0 lead, the Shelby Golden Lions quickly hustled it back to the field house, while the Bulldogs will have to go a little further, but I'm sure there will be some interesting comments. And for the 3rd week in a row, the Williams High Bulldogs go to the dressing room trailing at halftime to come back and win the last 2 games in the second half. They had not trailed at half at any game during the regular season. 3rd straight playoff game, they are trailing here at halftime. And we said, once again, the score. The Williams High Bulldogs trailing Shelby 6-0. We'll be back with halftime in 2 minutes.
ISU, we're the experts, the nation's biggest network of independents that you can trust. Insurance experts, ISU experts, finding more for your money. You count on us. We're coast to coast. You'll get the plan that works best. When it comes to insurance, ISU gives you more for less.
Call the professionals at James L. Massey Incorporated, South Church Street in Burlington. Drive with confidence on the B.F. Goodrich XLM HT from Bill Anders Burlington Tire Service. Designed for all seasons, the XLM HT is built to deliver excellent traction in rain or snow. You can rely on the XLM HT steel-belted radio for a smooth, quiet ride, dependable year-round performance, and long mileage, too. Go with a name you can trust. B.F. Goodrich. Ask for the XLM HT radio at Bill Anders Burlington Tire Service, 1222 South Church Street, Burlington.
Thank you. The staff of the original Sal's Italian restaurant just wanted to say thank you for making Sal's one of the most successful restaurants in Burlington. Sal's is a family restaurant with a friendly atmosphere. Choose from our impressive menu with over 100 items, including our outstanding Italian seafood, steaks, lobster, chicken, veal, pasta, subs, pizza, and more. Try Sal's for lunch or dinner. And don't forget our takeout and delivery services. That's the original Sal's Italian restaurant. Huffman Mill Road.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds is reaching for the sky.
Now Birds is miles ahead of the rest. The new Birds has landed thousands of new customers with lower prices and more variety on every aisle.
Flying for the steaks?
Yeah, nobody cuts it like Birds, including the price.
And the service?
Fast. I mean, I don't have time to get into a holding pattern.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds!
for your dancing and listening pleasure. The pride of the Mid-State Conference, the Belgian Bulldog Band.
Birds is miles ahead of the rest. The new Birds has landed thousands of new customers with lower prices and more variety on every aisle.
I see you've come back to Birds.
I've tried the rest, but Birds has the prices and the variety. Besides, they've got a great landing strip.
Birds is the only way to fly. Birds!
Thank you. The staff at the original Sal's Italian restaurant